Very much. Again, due to your bad fortune, I have come in front of you, and you'll have to tolerate me once again. For me, it is a good fortune because I'm getting your association, but for you, it will be again a bitter melon juice today. But nonetheless, we'll try to discuss something on this 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So let us begin with the prayers, and then we will start. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्। Hare Krishna. Again, a very good evening to all of you present here. Today we'll be going to discuss on the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. I'll just share my screen. So again, 11th chapter comes in the middle 6 chapters, which comprise of Bhakti Yoga. As we have discussed previously also, the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, they talk about Karma Yoga, middle 6 talk about Bhakti Yoga, and the last 6 talk about Jnana Yoga. The middle 6 are talking about Bhakti Yoga, but then although Bhakti Yoga is the essence, still how to live in this world and how to live in a way so that we will not be affected by the miseries of this world, how to live in a way we will be always in the mode of goodness. That is described in the later 6 chapters. That jnana is also required for all of us. That is jnana, which is subset of devotion. So when knowledge is subset of devotion, then there is no problem. But there is no need of separately cultivating any knowledge for attaining perfection in devotional life. Today's uh, chapter, the 11th chapter, it is entitled as the universal form. A bit technical chapter, and just like 10th chapter, now when we studied 10th chapter, the acronym for the 10th chapter was C, SEE, how Krishna is the source of everything. And then verses 8 to 11 talk about the Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita, which is said to be essence of Bhagavad Gita. If you want to tell someone Bhagavad Gita in a concise format, then that is 10.8 to 10.11. That is known as Bhagavad Gita encapsulated in 4 verses. If you want to tell someone Bhagavad Gita in 3 verses, then it is there in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. In the 15th chapter, wait, I'll just share this. We go to the 15th chapter, 15.16. So it talks about how two kinds of people are there, the fallible and infallible. In the material world, every living entity is fallible. In the spiritual world, every living entity is called infallible. So two classes of beings are described. Then in the 17th verse, it is said, okay, Besides these two, although there are these two categories of living beings, those who belong to the soul only, those which are the categorizations of soul only, there is another personality who is the super soul, who has entered the three worlds and is maintaining them. And then 18th verse talks about even higher person than the super soul, who is the supreme personality of Godhead. Yatsmat sharatitoham aksharad api cha uttamaha. Uttamaha means the best here. The best. That is the supreme personality of Godhead. So if you want to tell someone Bhagavad Gita in 3 verses, then please remember 15.16, 15.17, 15.18. If you want to tell someone Bhagavad Gita in 4 verses, then it is 10.8, 10.9, 10.10, 10.11. Similarly, Bhagavatam is also there. Now, Bhagavatam consists of 12 cantos. But if you want to tell someone Srimad Bhagavatam in 4 verses, that is also there. In the second canto, 9th chapter, verses 33 to 36. Those 4 verses, they talk about Srimad Bhagavatam in essence, what knowledge was given by Lord Krishna to Brahmaji. So coming back to this, so when Krishna is telling about how he is everywhere, how he is pervading everywhere. So when in the 10th chapter, Krishna mentions that, let's say among the animals, I am lion, or amongst this, I am that. So it is not that Krishna has taken the form of those personalities. It is just that anywhere, anything powerful you see, that is the vibhuti of Krishna. That is the potency of Krishna. That is the energy of Krishna. That does not mean in any way that from today onwards we will start worshipping the lion, we will start worshipping the ocean, we will start worshipping everything what Krishna has mentioned in the 10th chapter. No, that Krishna has not said. Krishna has said, Man mana bhava mad bhakto madhyajimam namaskuru. If you want to do worship, you worship only me. But then anything you see in this world, you don't consider it different from me. Consider it that due to my energy only, due to my potency only, it is working. So Arjuna also hears all this from Krishna, and Arjuna gets bewildered. Arjuna says, oh, this was my friend, but he's the Supreme Lord. Now let me see, I want to know something more about his energies. I want to see his universal form. That desire comes in the heart of Arjuna. And Krishna, as we all know, he is Bhakta Vatsal. If one thing Krishna gets conquered by, the unconquerable gets conquered by the love of his devotees. And when Arjuna requests Krishna that please show your universal form, then Krishna cannot deny it. So he shows his universal form, and then he shows his Kala Rupa also. So both these forms are there, which are mentioned in this particular chapter. And then Arjuna praised the Lord. And then finally, Arjuna requests Krishna to show your four-handed form, and subsequently the two-handed form. So this is the acronym for today, Rupa. Rupa in Sanskrit means form only. So you can remember it quite easily, because Rupa and form, they are non-different. So R stands for request, U for universal form, P for prayers of Arjuna, and A for armed form. So the first lesson is request. Arjuna is putting a Krishna request to Krishna. The connection is given in here. After hearing Krishna's words in chapter 10, that with a single fragment of myself, ekam shena sthito jagat, I pervade and support the entire universe, Arjuna wishes to see that all pervasive form of the Lord. How Krishna, how do you pervade the entire universe? I want to see it. Although Krishna is driving Arjuna's chariot, he pervades and supports the entire universe. He is here also, he is there also. How come he is everywhere? The same concept is being told by many devotees in their prayers in Srimad Bhagavatam. Queen Kunti says to the Lord, Namasye Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakrute Param Alaksham Sarva Bhutanam Antarbahir Avasthitam. My dear Lord, you are inside also, you are outside also. You came inside and you entered into the womb of Uttara, and you saved Parikshit Maharaj, and outside also you saved all the Pandavas and all of us from the Brahmastra of Ashwathama. So you are all pervading. So Arjuna therefore wishes to see Krishna's all-pervading form. Thus, after two introductory verses, Arjuna asks Krishna to reveal his universal form. So in the first verse, Krishna is telling here, Arjuna is telling that my illusion is now dispelled. My illusion is dispelled. I'll just open this also so that we can simultaneously see the verses. Yes, so he says, Mad anugrahaya paramam guhyam adhyatma sangitam yat tvayoktam vachastena mohoyam vigato mama. He says, you have shown great causeless mercy on me. Mad anugrahaya. So devotee is always looking for favors from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is not wrong to look from favors from the Supreme Lord, but then his favors may come in different ways. For Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, one kind of favor came when Krishna took away everything from him and made him surrender wholeheartedly so that he could leave and he could go to United States of America and he could start the International Society for Krishna Consciousness there. So to understand the mercy of Krishna also, it requires love for Krishna. It requires a surrendered heart. And if we are not understanding if a situation which has come forth in our life is a mercy of Krishna or not, then we can approach our seniors, we can approach our friends, and we can ask them uh, that this thing I am feeling that Krishna is very angry at me. Sometimes we feel like that. Uh, you know, things are not working the way I want. So many days I have been praying to Krishna, but it seems Krishna is sleeping. Or maybe just Krishna is playing his flute. He has got none other business than that. What business he has got to enter in my life and do something for me? So better I'll not practice Krishna consciousness anymore. This is what is enough for me. But before doing that, we can just ask to someone that what is exactly the favor of Krishna? What is exactly the mercy of Krishna? So Arjuna here is saying that Krishna, you have shown favor on me. Not only today, even before that, when the Pandavas were in the Vanavas, they were in the forest, when they lost in the gambling match, that time also Arjuna never said to Krishna that Krishna, uh, it seems you are angry with me. It seems that you don't love me. Never such kind of words came from the mouth of Arjuna because he knew that whatever the Supreme Lord does, whatever events are coming in my life, they are for my benefit. And therefore, he says in this particular way that you have shown mercy on me and my illusion has now been dispelled. Hmm. So when our illusion is gone, when we see things for what they are, that is actual mercy of Krishna. That is actual mercy of Krishna. And then he says, Oh, lotus-eyed one, I have heard from you in detail about the appearance and disappearance of every living entity, and I've realized your inexhaustible glories. I've heard from you everything. And then he says, though I see you here before me in your actual position, as you have described yourself, I wish to see how you have entered into this cosmic manifestation. I want to see that form of yours. I want to see that form of yours. Now, here, see, devotee, he is very happy seeing the two-handed form of Krishna. A devotee is not wanting to see universal form because the universal form, it consists of all the things in the entire creation. The universal form is not a totality, in totality, a spiritual form. It is a material form because the elements of which the universal form is made, they are just corresponding to different things in the entire universe. So it is not that this universal form really exists. The elements in the universal form exist, but a universal form is material in that sense. So devotee is not not really interested in seeing the universal form. But then here Arjuna wants to show to the entire world that how Krishna is the supreme Lord. And in future, if some Tom, Dick, Harry comes and he says, I am the Supreme Lord, please worship me, then we will have something to say to him. We can ask him, Oh, my dear friend, Or, my dear Lord, you are saying that you are the supreme personality of Godhead. Can you please show your universal form as Krishna showed to Arjuna? And if he is able to show his universal form, then we can accept that he or she is God. So, therefore, that is the real reason why Arjuna is requesting Krishna to show the universal form. Uh, Otherwise, there is no reason for Arjuna to see the universal form, because later we will see how in the end of the chapter, Arjuna is saying, "My dear Lord, now stop, now stop. I don't want to see this form. Please show me your 400 form." Then he says, "Please show me your 200 form. I don't want to see this universal form." So he's not happy seeing this universal form. Uh, so devotees don't like to see it, but then uh, actually, Krishna showed this universal form to Duryodhana also. Uh, Duryodhana also he showed in the Srimad Bhagavatam also in multiple places. The vision of the universal form is mentioned. There may be different descriptions of this universal form, but this form is one. This form is one. Just as, for instance, uh, if if a train is coming on the railway platform, and if you ask three people, what did you see when the train came, so one person says that, my very close friend was there, he had come uh, to meet me, so I was only looking at him, so for me the train meant him. For me, the train was him. Then you ask another person, "Oh, you saw the train coming. What all did you see?" He said, "Oh, 70 devotees were going to come. And I was just looking in which bogie devotees are there. And I just ran to that bogie." Then you ask the third person, "What did you see?" He said, "I was just looking at how the train is constructed. I was looking the joints between the two bogies and things like that." Now, all the three people are seeing the same train, but they have different interpretations. Just like this mobile is there. Now, one person may see from this angle, so this is the front angle. Some person may see from this angle, this is the side angle. So now this person will say that, okay, these buttons are there. This person will see, oh, this is the front from the photo of Shrimati Radharani is there. If somebody sees this form, he will say, oh, this is the back side. Same phone, same phone, but different things are being seen. In the same way, universal form, although mentioned in different places in the Srimad Bhagavatam also, and here also, it is the same universal form. Just the descriptions which are given, the descriptions will differ, which we will see now, which we will look forth now. Mm. So now, after hearing Arjuna's request to see the universal form, which he mainly uh, wanted Krishna to show for the purpose of benefiting the whole world, Krishna says to him, if you think I am able to behold your, no, sorry, Arjuna is only saying this. If you think I am able to behold your cosmic form, O master of all mystic power, kindly show to me that universal, unlimited universal self. Unlimited universal self. So then Krishna says, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, Pashyame Partha Rupani Shatashotha Sahasrasha Nana Vidani Divyani Nana Varna Kriti Cha. So he says, my dear Arjuna, O son of Pritha, see now my opulences, hundreds of thousands of varied, divine and multicolored forms. Now you see here, here is saying, Arjuna wanted to see Krishna in his universal form, which, although a transcendental form, is just manifested for the cosmic manifestation and therefore subject to the temporary time of this material nature. It is subject to the temporary time because, uh, as we will see here, as he is writing here, as the material nature is manifested and unmanifested, similarly, this universal form of Krishna is manifested and non-manifested. Sometimes till the time creation is there, it is there. The creation is not there, it is not there. It is situated in the spiritual sky like it is not eternally. It is not eternally situated in the spiritual sky like Krishna's other forms. As far as a devotee is concerned, he is not eager to see the universal form. But because Arjuna wanted to see Krishna, in this way, Krishna reveals this form like that. So he says him, so he says to him, "Oh, best of the Bharatas, see here the different manifestation of Adityas, Vasus, Rudras, Ashwini Kumaras, and all the other demigods. Behold the many wonderful things which no one has ever seen or heard before. Hmm. And then he says, "Oh Arjuna, whatever you wish to see, behold at once in this body of mine. This universal form can show you whatever you now desire to see and whatever you may want to see in the future. Everything moving, non-moving is here completely in one place." This is what is the vision which now uh, Krishna is giving to Arjuna. Okay, so now here are some important facts. The first thing we discussed, Arjuna wants to reveal Krishna's reality for others. So he wants Krishna to show the universal form. Second, very important thing, Arjuna can already see lovingly the eternal two-handed form of Krishna. So what is the need for him when Krishna is telling, "Oh, let me give you divine eyes"? What is the need for Arjuna to get divine eyes? So actually, this universal form is of a lower caliber than the eternal two-handed form of Krishna. So now Krishna is giving him celestial eyes, which is a lower version of his eyes, the eyesight of demigods to see the universal form. He has got the eyesight of a devotee, and a devotee is definitely greater than a demigod. So it says here, Arjuna needed to downgrade his vision to see the universal form. He had to downgrade his vision. Krishna did that because whenever he would look at Krishna, his looks were of total devotion. He was only loving Krishna. There was no other relationship. He was loving him as a friend. Yeah, third thing also we discussed. Those who claim that they are God must show universal form to prove their claim. And the fourth thing also we read in the purport of Srila Prabhupada. A pure devotee in transcendental loving relationship with Krishna is not at all attracted to the universal form. Is not attracted to the universal form. Hmm. So Krishna is telling to him that you see within my body whatever you wish to see. I will give you divine eyes, those celestial eyes. So in verses 10 to 19, as I mentioned before, that two forms are being shown here. In the verses 10 to 19, Arjuna witnesses Krishna's universal form of opulences as described in chapter 10. And starting with verse 20, Arjuna describes his vision of Lord's Kala Rupa, the form of time, how Lord pushes all material entities towards destruction. So one is Vishwarupa, that is the universal form. One is Kala Rupa. Kala means time. Hmm. So that is what is the second form. So in the ninth verse, then Krishna, he displays his, his universal form. Hmm. Sanjay said, "O king, having spoken thus, the supreme lord of all mystic power, the personality of Godhead, displayed his universal form to Arjuna. Arjuna saw in that universal form unlimited mouths, unlimited eyes, unlimited wonderful visions. The form was decorated with many celestial ornaments and bore many divine upraised weapons. He wore celestial garlands and garments." So just try to visualize it. How unlimited mouths are there, unlimited eyes are there, unlimited wonderful visions. Celestial garlands, garments, and many divine scents were smeared over his body. All was wondrous, brilliant, unlimited, and all expanding. This is what the vision which Arjuna received. If hundreds of thousands of suns were to rise at once into the sky, their radiance might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Personal in that universal form. That was the form which Arjuna was seeing. At that time, Arjuna could see in the universal form the unlimited expanse of the universe situated in one place, although divided into many, many thousands. Uh, So one place he saw, unlimited universes are there. He saw everything at one place, all the things he saw at one place. Then bewildered and astonished, his hair standing on end, Arjuna bowed his head and offered obeisances and with folded hands. He began to pray to the Supreme Lord. Now, because now he was considering Krishna to be his friend, and now he saw my friend has, my God, this form. God, I'm totally bewildered. I'll just show you one video, which kind of depicts it. Not totality, but some part of it I can definitely try to show. Okay. So
brothers and cousins, friends and well-wishers, but they have come for what is to be done.
Old garments, worn and scared, its wise grieve not, whether for the living or the dead.
So the previous chapters actually, so
Arjun,
we'll go ahead.
Rise. Revive your love for me. Act in devotion, free from karma and all material motivation. What else is your duty but this? Arjun, I, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, am your friend, and you are my devotee. Hear, as I tell you this, the most confidential knowledge. Allow me to reveal who I am. I am the Supreme Person. From me emanates all the three worlds, both spiritual and mundane. Ha! Everything rests in me, Arjun, just as you see pearls hang upon a thread.
O you with lotus-like eyes, O inexhaustible Lord, if you think I am worthy, kindly show your cosmic form.
What is asking? Universal form now.
Behold, my mystic opulence! Witness my multicolored forms! All things are here, Arjun, as you desire. Moving and not, all before you. See now, this wondrous vision! Eternal, all, expanding, many suns! Thousands, a millions!
I see Brahma, Shiva, sages and serpents, arms, bellies, mouths and eyes, glowing like blazing fire, glowing forms everywhere, no origin, middle nor end, both wondrous and terrible. Everyone is disturbed, paying their obeisances like moths to a flame. Warriors, enter your mouths, scorching rays, all is devoured. Oh Lord, please, please be gracious to me.
Time I
Is
am,
the form of time.
the great destroyer. I will terminate everyone. Other than the Pandavas, all the soldiers on the battlefield will be slain. So fight! Fight, my friend, 'tis your duty!
O limitless one, O God of gods, original Father, Supreme Master, I fall at your feet in awe. Oh, my mind is dazzled, perplexed. Will you kindly show me your original form?
O Arjun, now see the form you really desire. Love and serve me, and your life will be perfect. Be fearless, heroic, and determined. Austere, simple, and pure. Be compassionate, honest, and kind. Modest, clean, and resourceful. Arjun, be of a divine nature. One so dear to me as this will certainly return home to my abode. This is a promise to my devotees. Arjun, all that I have spoken has been for your benefit. Please, think carefully of all that I have said.
Yes, this is how he shows him the universal form and the Kala form also. Very beautifully depicted in that video. So we saw the universal form, and we also heard how Arjuna gets uh, bewildered after seeing this form, and he prays to Krishna. So from 15 to 45, that is given. So 15 to 18, it is his Arjuna's realizations upon seeing the universal form. Then 19 to 25, his description of the form of time. And 26 to 30, he is seeing what is happening, the future outcome of the war. Already it is decided by Krishna, and Arjuna is able to see that. And 31st verse, he asks to Krishna that, Krishna, who are you? Now you see here, 15th verse, we will go ahead. So Arjuna Uvasha, what does he say? What does he say here? पश्यामि देवांस्तव देवदेहे सर्वांस्तथा भूतविशेषसङ्गान् ब्राह्मणमीशं कमलासनस्थं ऋषींश्च सर्वान् उरुगांश्च दिव्यान्. This is the vision of Arjuna. He says, my dear Lord Krishna, I see assembled in your body all the demigods. I see Brahma as well as Shiva, all the sages and divine serpents. Then I see in your body many, many arms, bellies, mouths, and eyes, like we saw in the video, expanded everywhere without limit. I see no end, no middle, and no beginning. Your form is difficult to see because of its glaring effulgence spreading on all sides like blazing fire or the immeasurable radiance of the sun. Yet I see this glowing form everywhere, adorned with various crowns, clubs, and discs. So this is what he sees. And then he says, now if somebody, you see somebody uh, sees something like that, like if your friend is there and you come to know your friend, he talks very nicely with you and you are uh, very nice and calm and gentle with him, and you are very friendly with him. Sometimes you chastise also, sometimes you make a fool out of him, sometimes you joke with him, and then later you understand, oh, this was my friend is there, but I came to know that he's a very big person. He's connected to the prime minister of the country and holding a very close position. He's very famous also. I was not knowing that. Then your relationship immediately after knowing the glories of that person will change. The same thing is happening here to Arjuna when he's seeing that universal form. So he says, you are the supreme primal objective. You are the ultimate resting place of all the universe. You are inexhaustible. You are the oldest. You are the maintainer of eternal religion. This is my opinion. This is what I feel. You are without origin, without beginning, and without end. That is what he says. And seeing this form, all the planetary systems are perturbed. That is what he is mentioning. And now, like we discussed from 19 to 25, there he is describing the Kala Rupa. Now, one thing what we need to understand about the time factor in this world, we all are affected by this time factor in different ways. This time factor, it it like when we were small children, we could play for a long number of hours, we could run for a long distance. But now as we are getting older, we understand that I cannot have the same stamina, I cannot have the same endurance. My body is like slowly deteriorating, and after some time what will happen to the body? This body will go away and a new body will come. So we all can understand how things deteriorate in this world. Anything you take for that, at that instance, any material thing you take, For example, it is going to deteriorate. There is no other thing what is going to happen of this. You take a new phone, it will look very nice for the first 1 month. After that, it will start deteriorating. You take a nice dress, and after some time, it will start getting older. You see, you plant a small tree. After some time, what will happen? It will grow very big in size. After that, it will get destroyed. So destruction is a common factor in this material world. And one reason, why destruction happens is to make us understand, like Krishna in the 8th chapter, he talks about the universal destruction that is meant to invoke a sort of detachment in the living entity. Because in the living entity understands everything is getting destroyed, everything is temporary. So what is the use, what is the need of unnecessarily wasting my time in something which is anyways I'm going to lose. So anyways, I'm going to lose. What is the, like, for example, this body is there. And if we want to spend, let's say, 3-4 hours every day in taking care of the body, actually, we spend a lot of time. We have to spend, we have to, like, say, sleep for 6-7 hours, then we have to take bath, then we have to eat, we have to honor prasadam for the upkeep of the body. But then if it happens in if it happens to such a great degree that we are not even able to give time to spiritual life, then what is the use of it? Like, let's say a person sleeps for 8-10 hours, then he says, no, I want to do two hours of yoga, 2 hours of yoga. That person, then he says, no, no, I want to again 1-2 hours, I want to stand in front of the mirror and I want to do. Oh my god, then where you have time? And then rest 10 hours I have to do job. Oh, then when you have time for spirituality? So the things which are getting deteriorated, we need to understand that uh, we cannot afford to spend a long time on them. Whatever is needed to keep the body healthy, whatever is needed to keep the body well maintained, that has to be done definitely. But the time factor which is there in the material world, this time factor only brings destruction. And Krishna says at one place that, like, I'm rephrasing, but Krishna is like, so this time factor, actually, if you want to understand this time factor, this time is like the proxy manifestation of Krishna in this material world. Proxy in the sense, like, when students are there, like in India, at least it happens. In Canada, I don't know. But when students, they don't want to go for a class, and they want to put their attendance. So what they will do is they will tell one of their friends, oh, my dear friend, what you can do now, you can put P in front of my name. So that is what is called as proxy. So Krishna's proxy in this material world is the time factor. We are not able to see Krishna, but we are able to see the moment of time, how that clock is ticking second after second after second. Now it is 8, now here in India, it is morning, 8, 9 and 17 seconds. Now this 17 seconds is gone. It is gone. It's not going to come back again. The same way, if you want to see the working of Krishna in this material world, it is through the time factor. But in the spiritual world, the same time factor, it is present. It is not that time is not in the spiritual world. Otherwise, how can Krishna have different pastimes in during different times? Morning he's getting up, then he's going to herd his cows. Then in the night he's having pastimes with the cow herd girls. In the afternoon he's playing with his friends. So time is there, time is definitely there, but that time is not having a deteriorating effect. The same time in the spiritual world, it brings on varieties of newer and newer pastimes, newer and newer adventures with Krishna. That is what is time in the spiritual world. And the time is eternal. In material world also, material world is eternal, but the manifestations of material world are temporary. Material world for that instance is eternal, but the manifestations of it are temporary. Like the universe is there, it is having a lifespan of 100 years of Brahma. Then after 100 years of Brahma, the entire universe will again go back into Mahavishnu's body. Then again, when Mahavishnu, he exhales, that time all the universes will come out. So the manifestations are temporary, but material nature for that instance is eternal. So this point regarding the time factor, we can all understand that in material world, time only will bring about bring about destruction. Like for example, if you think that today, this year is 2024, if you think about 2054, or let's say 2074, 50 years from now, so how many of us can be assured that no, I am going to see on the calendar 2074 in this very body? We cannot be sure. We cannot be sure. So time brings about a destructive effect. Hmm. So coming back to a thing, so Krishna here, when he had showed the universal form and Arjuna, he saw that universal form along with the Kala Rupa, the form as related to time. He is telling that you have no origin, no middle, no end. I see blazing fire emanating. You are spread throughout. And then he says some prayers. And then, then he says, I am also fearful, my dear Lord, seeing this destructive form. Like sometimes when you see some very ghastly scene, let's say you are driving on the road and you see a very ghastly accident, you become very fearful. Now here Arjuna is seeing the whole world uh, going to the going into the mouth of the Lord, and it is getting destroyed. So very fearful he became. And therefore he says in the verse 25, he say, Prasida Devesha Jagan Nivasa, my dear Lord, please please be merciful unto me. Please be merciful. I'm now not able to hold this particular form. And he's saying what is happening now. 26 to 29, he's saying that we will just go into that. He's he's saying all the sons of Dhritarashtra, along with their allied kings, Bhishma, Drona, Karna, our chief soldiers also are rushing into your fearful mouths, and some I see trapped with heads smashed between your teeth. This what is the vision he's having. As many waves of the river, as the many waves of the river flow into the ocean, so these great warriors are entering into your blazing mouths. Huh? I see all people rushing full speed into your mouth as moths dash to destruction in a blazing fire. I see you devouring all people from all sides with your flaming mouths. You are manifest with terrible scorching rays. So already he is seeing the outcome of the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Already, and Sanjay is also seeing this, and Dhritarashtra is also hearing this. Same thing. And Dhritarashtra is also able to understand at the beginning only of the battlefield that his sons are not going to survive. And sure enough, Sanjay in the last verse of Bhagavad Gita, he says that wherever Krishna is there, wherever Arjuna is there, victory is guaranteed. Victory will be there, fame will be there, and all opulences will be there wherever Krishna and Arjuna are there. And now here, uh, he's saying Arjuna is himself able to see, and we are also able to understand here that in the very beginning, Arjuna saw that none of the warriors of the opposite party are going to remain. And now, seeing this kind of opulence, he gets bewildered totally. And he says to Krishna, Krishna, please tell me who you are. I'm not able to understand who you are. I offer my obeisances to you. Please be glorious. Please be gracious to me. I want to know about you, for I don't know who your mission is, what your mission is. And then Krishna says about his time form. He says, Kalosmi lokakshaya krit pavruddho. Time I am, the greatest destroyer of all the worlds, and I have come here to destroy all people. With the exception of you, all the soldiers here on both sides will be slain. So Krishna has already told the outcome of the battle, and he's told that I am time and I am the destroyer of all worlds. You see, but for devotees, for non-devotees, the time which is there, every rising and setting of the sun, it takes them closer to that death. There is one verse in the Srimad Bhagavad Puran. Ayur harati vahi pumsam udyan astam chayan aso tasyarte yat kshano nita uttama shloka vartaya. Every rising and setting of the sun decreases the duration of life of everyone. Like time is the destroyer, but one who utilizes his time by discussing the glories of the Supreme Lord, through the same time, he comes closer to God. Hmm? उद्यानस्तंजनसौ तस्यर्थे यत् शृणोनीत उत्तम श्लोकवार्तया. For one is a devotee of the Lord, the time will is bringing him closer to eternity. The same time. Every birthday he is having, he can have many more birthdays in this life. But then after he quits this life, there will be no more birth for him. That is the beauty for a devotee. So for a devotee, time does not bring destruction. Time brings forth newer and newer realizations in Krishna consciousness. Time brings forth purification in Krishna consciousness. Time brings forth various kinds of opportunities for service in Krishna consciousness. And finally, time brings forth union with the Supreme Lord, going back to the spiritual world. That is the beauty of becoming a devotee of Krishna. So coming back here now, it's a very important verse, 11.33. Krishna is telling to him, now see, I have devoured, I have destroyed everyone. Everyone else is going to be slain except for you Pandavas. And then Krishna is telling to him, Tasmat muttishta yasho labhasva jitva shatrung bhungshva rajyam samruddham Mayyaivaite nihita purvameva nimittamatram bhavasavya. He says to him, my dear Arjuna, now get up. Tasmatam uttishta. Uttishta means arise. Yasho labhasva. And be ready for victory. Victory is already yours. What need is there for you to worry? Just go in the battlefield and kill everyone. I have already decided who is going to be killed. But you just be an instrument. You just be an instrument in this. Nimitta matra means instrument. You just be, you can just be but an instrument in the fight. So Krishna wants us to do our part and leave the rest to him. Although the things may be decided by Krishna, but then we can get the credit. When we participate in the service to Srila Prabhupada, when we participate in the service to Krishna, we become glorious. We become glorious. Just like when you are carrying Srila Prabhupada, like sometimes the temple, you will carry Srila Prabhupada, and carrying Srila Prabhupada, there will be devotees who are doing chamar and who will be doing peacock feather. The peacock feather is being done for Srila Prabhupada, but you are also getting the coolness of that. When you are applying chandan to the Lord, tomorrow it is the last day of Chandan Yatra. When you are applying chandan to the Lord, if you smell your hands become very fragrant. So in the same way, if we just remain connected with the Lord, if we do whatever our part is, then we also become glorious in the service of the Lord. Just like when somebody is fanning Srila Prabhupada, you also receive that grace. Like sometimes as a devotee, you go to some places, they will give you garlands. Now, you are not qualified to receive garland, but just because you are serving in some particular way, those people are reciprocating with you. So why? Because you are connected, because you are becoming an instrument. So our goal is only to become an instrument. Kanai Thakur Prabhu gives this example many a times. He tells that if a spoon is there, which is used to stir something while cooking, the spoon is just an instrument. If the spoon is not working properly, if the big spoon, it is not working properly, what will the cook do? The cook will throw that spoon and he will take another spoon. The real doer is the cook. The real doer is the cook. Similarly, Krishna is the cook. We are just an instrument. But if we are not working properly, Krishna will say, okay, this is not working properly. Let me take another instrument, another spoon. This is what Krishna will do. So we have to just become instruments in the service to Krishna. And then entire glory will be ours. Like Satswarup Das Goswami Maharaj, uh, he recollects that whenever they would go to different places for organizing programs, and they would, so there would be big pandals, and it would be written there, Srila Prabhupada and all his American and European disciples. And he would feel that, oh, we are doing something in the service to Srila Prabhupada. Then he says, when Prabhupada left this world, we could understand that it was only Srila Prabhupada. Our name, although it was written, but we could not do anything without him. It was only Srila Prabhupada who did everything. Although our names were written American and European disciples, we understood that we were nothing actually. We could not do anything without his support. So this we need to understand. Our glory can only be in assisting the great souls. Our glory can only be in serving Krishna in whatever small or big way possible. There is no small, there is no big in Krishna consciousness. Everything is absolute. There is no higher service, there is no lower service in Krishna consciousness. A person doing mopping, a person mopping the floor, he can get the same benefit as a person worshipping the deity. A person who is giving lectures to hundreds and thousands of people, he can get the same benefit as a person who is washing the vessels of the deities. Same benefit. There is no duality in Krishna consciousness. As everything is absolute, so all services of Krishna are also absolute. So we just have to become instruments in Krishna's service. That is a very important point we must understand. And then he says, yes, I am seeing all those people. Dronam cha Bhishmam cha Jayadratam cha Karnam tathanyam api yodha viran maya hatam swam jahima vyatrishta yudhyasva jeta sirane sapatnam. I am seeing Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, they have already been destroyed by me. Krishna is saying, Arjuna had seen that previously. Therefore, kill all of them. Do not be disturbed. Simply fight. Simply do your duty and you will vanquish your enemies in battle. Srila Prabhupada also, when he went to the West, um, he had nothing. He had nothing. But he said, my dear Lord, I am just your instrument. You can just make me dance. The way you like, you can make me dance. So the only thing we can do is we can ask to Krishna, you can pray to Krishna, Krishna, you can make me dance the way you like. Like there's a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, Her Grace Mandakini Devi. She prayed to the Lord, give me some service which is very difficult and challenging, but give me the intelligence to say yes that time and give me the intelligence not to say no. And when Prabhupada had first time when he had gone to Russia and when he came back, so Prabhupada asked to Mandakini that Mandakini, there is one boy there. She was not knowing who this boy is. And can you go and marry her and start Krishna consciousness, establish Krishna consciousness in Russia? And immediately Mandakini Devi said yes. And through her going to the West, through her marrying Anatoly, who later became Ananda Shanti Prabhu, through that seed, Krishna consciousness exploded in Russia. And now you see so many temples, thousands and thousands of temples in Russia, through that one act of becoming an instrument of Krishna, becoming an instrument of Srila Prabhupada. So here, what happens later? We'll go now. So Arjun asks two questions. Who are you and who is your mission? So Krishna says, I am time and my mission is I want to destroy everyone. So we discussed this particular verse, how Krishna tells to become an instrument. Now, 35th, Arjuna prays in faltering voice in a mood of wonder. Then he glorifies, offers obeisances, offers apologies, and requests to show the normal form. So he says that how Krishna is worshipable by all, how Krishna is the ultimate shelter of everything. And he offers his obeisances again and again, repeated number of times to Krishna. So this happens till verse number 40. I will not enter them. And then in 41 and 42, now he has understood that who is my friend. My friend was such a great person. I just offended him. So he says this very beautiful verse. सखेति मत्वा प्रसभं यदुक्तं हे कृष्ण हे यादव हे सखेति अजानता महिमानं तवेदं मया प्रमादात् प्रणयेन वापि यच्चावः सार्थमसत्कृतोऽसि विहारशय्यासनभोजनेषु एकोऽथवाप्यच्युत तत्समक्षं तत्क्षामये त्वाम् अहमप्रमेयम्. So he says, Sakheti Matva, I considered you as my friend. Hey Krishna, hey Yadava, and I used to call you, hey Krishna, hey Yadava, hey Sakha. I would call you anything. Ajanata Mahimanam Tavedam, but I was not knowing your glories, my dear Krishna. Maya Pramadat Pranayena Vapi. In my foolishness, I have done so many things. We used to eat together, we used to sit together, we used to lie down together. What all things I have not spoken to you. Please forgive me. Please forgive me for whatever I have done in madness or in love. This is what Arjuna is saying now to Krishna when he understands that my friend is the controller is of the whole world and he is having this kind of form because he had this friendly mood with Krishna. Then he says, no one is equal to you. No one can be one with you. How can then put there anyone greater than you within the three worlds? That is what uh, Arjuna is saying now. And then finally, yes, he is he says, I fall down to offer you my respectful obeisances and ask your mercy. As a father tolerates the impudence of his son, a friend the impertinence of a friend, or a husband the familiarity of wife, please tolerate the wrongs I may have done for you. Done. Please tolerate the wrongs I may have done you. So he's again and again asking forgiveness to uh, to Krishna. Three examples he's giving, like a father, like a husband and a wife, and like a son. Those examples he gives. And the last topic of today, A, after Arjuna recites his prayers. And these are prayers in awe and reverence, which is reciting after seeing that form of Krishna. Otherwise, those kinds of prayers would not come. And then uh, he says to him that I want to see your four armed form. So this is one of the very beautiful sections of the 11th chapter, the last 9-10 verses. And yes, 1-2 verses of them, 11.54 and 55, they are very special verses. We will, as we go ahead, we'll go to them. Mm. The most intimate feature of the absolute truth is the two-armed form of Krishna. This form is known through devotional service. Now you see Krishna is telling to Arjuna in 44 through 47 that no one before you has ever seen this universal form of mine, for neither by studying the Vedas, nor by performing sacrifices, nor by charity, nor by pious activities, nor by severe penances can I be seen in this form in the material world. So because Arjuna was a special friend of Krishna, therefore Krishna showed this universal form to Arjuna. And then he says, you have been disturbed and bewildered by seeing this form of mine, horrible form. Now let it be finished. Now I'm going to stop this particular vision. My devotee, be free again from all disturbances. With a peaceful mind, you can now see the form you desire. So Krishna again shows back his four-handed form to Arjuna. Mm. And a devotee always longs to see Krishna in this form only. Devotees do not want to see Krishna in the universal form. What they will do by seeing in the universal form? Therefore, also that is one more reason why devotees, they don't want to go to Brahman. They don't want to merge into that impersonal effulgence of the Lord. The most important reason is what they will do there. There is no service to Krishna. But devotees of the Lord are eagerly looking and awaiting for service. And that is the reason we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day. Prabhupada gave us a very beautiful meaning of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Oh, my dear Lord, oh, energy of the Lord, please engage me in your service. So when we are asking Krishna for service, what will we do with the universal form there? We'll just be hanging around there. Huh? See, we also don't like to hang around at places. We may like once a while, but then always not doing anything practical. Just even if you are at your home only, you like to do something, move things from here to here. Something you will do. Something you will do. So therefore, devotees don't want to either see the universal form also, nor do they want to go and merge into Brahman also, because they are very much interested in serving the Lord. And to the extent that they are not even wanting to go to Vaikuntha if service is not there. That is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Salokya sarshti samipya sarupaikwatvam diyamanam na grinanti vina mat sevanam jana. I don't want the five kinds of muktis if seva is not there. Vina mat sevanam jana. A pure devotee does not accept any kind of liberation, even though they are offered to the Supreme Person, even if they are offered by the Supreme Lord. Vina mat sevanam jana. When seva is not there, when service is not there. So devotees are the ones, those who are always looking for service. So Krishna, after showing the universal form, he shows his four-handed form with Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, and then he shows his original two-handed form. And Arjuna, when he sees the original form, he becomes very much pacified. He becomes very much calm and composed, and he gets restored to his original nature, to his original nature. And that is the eternal, that is the eternal form of Lord Krishna. Eternally, Krishna is not existing in the universal form, but is existing in the form of two hands. And then Krishna says to him, Sudurdarsham idam rupam drishtavan asiyan mama deva apyasya rupasya nityam darshana kangshina. He says, my dear Arjuna, this form you are seeing now is very difficult to behold. Even the demigods are ever seeking this opportunity. So rare, universal form is rare. The four-handed form is rarer, and the two-handed form is the rarest. Universal form is rare, but even more rare is the four-handed form, and even more rare is the two-handed form of Krishna to see. And that Arjuna is always seeing because he's a devotee of Krishna. And then he says, the form we are seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, by undergoing serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. It is not by these means that one can see me as I am. Let's say if we think that we will do a lot of fasting, we will do a lot of things in order to have the darshan of Krishna, that alone is not going to help us. If we do it in a devotional mood, then very good. Then it is very nice. But without devotion, if we try to do all kinds of austerities not connected to Krishna, so Krishna therefore says, there is one verse which comes. आराधितो यदि हरि तपसा ततः किम नाराधितो यदि हरि tapasa tata kim. Aradhito means worshipping. If somebody is worshipping Krishna, then what is the use of tapasya? What is the use of austerity? If somebody is not worshipping Krishna, then what is the use of austerity? Meaning, if somebody is worshipping Krishna, then that worship is the highest. There is no need for him to do any austerity. And the second thing, if somebody is not doing worship of Krishna, then what is the use of austerity? It means that if one is not worshipping him, no matter how much austerity he or she does, he or she will not be able to have darshan of Krishna. Will not, he or she, because devotional service is in the foreground, bhakti is in the foreground, and that is what Krishna will tell in the next verse, which is the most important verse of this particular chapter, this and the next one. Bhaktva tu ananyaya shakya aham evam vidhorjana jnatum drashtam ch tatvena praveshtum cha parantapa. Very beautiful. My spiritual master often quotes this verse. Bhaktya tu ananyaya shakya. Shakya means possible. Only by bhakti. Bhaktya tu ananyaya shakya aham evam vidho arjuna. I can be understood only by devotional service. Jnatum drashtum chatatvena, I can be seen in truth, in reality, praveshtum. And you can enter into the mysteries of my understanding only by bhakti, only by devotional service. Now you see here, Krishna is standing right in front of Arjuna. And Krishna is not telling that by coming in front of me, you can understand me. Krishna is in front of Arjuna, and Krishna is telling to Arjuna that this is not the way you can see me. Many people want to see Krishna face to face, but that is not the way. Therefore, Srila Saraswati Thakur, the spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada, he would always say that don't try to see Krishna, but try to serve him in such a way that he will want to see you. So when we serve Krishna, bhaktya tu ananya shakya, then we can understand Krishna. The service we do to Krishna will give us realizations about Krishna. But if we don't do any service, we won't get any realizations. You all might have had these experiences that whenever you want to understand some kind of point and you are not able to understand it, but when you do some kind of service and you are just doing, that just comes, dawns in your heart. Or maybe you just open a book and the same page comes in and the doubt is solved. How does it happen? Because you are rendering service. And therefore, Krishna is giving that realization to us. So bhakti is not a matter of ascending process. We cannot be in achievers mode in Krishna consciousness. We have to be in the receivers mode. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada would say that you should chant as a child is crying for his mother. A child crying for his mother, a child cannot do anything by himself or herself. The child, even for getting milk, mother is required. He cannot do anything by himself. In the same way, when we are in the receiver's mode, we can obtain the grace and mercy of Krishna, and we can see Krishna. Bhaktya tu ananyaya shakya aham evam vidvarjana jnatum drashtum ch tatvena praveshtum cha parantapa. Like that. And then finally, in verse 55, Krishna says, Mat karma krit mat paramo mat bhakta sangha varjita nirvaira sarva bhuteshu yah samameti pandava. The last verse, he says, one who engages in my pure devotional service, free from contaminations of fruitive activities, he who works for me, he who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me. Mat karma krit, one who works for me, he finally comes to me. That is what, and this is how Krishna concludes this particular chapter. Very beautiful purports, but very long purports of the last two verses. But my suggestion is you can just go on. You can see these verses in your free time. It is the essence of Bhagavad Gita, like here he is describing. Perform bhakti and attain Krishna. Hmm. So again, we'll revise what all we saw in today's discussion. First, in the very beginning, Arjuna requests to Krishna, not for himself, but for everyone else, and to establish the supremacy of Krishna for all time to come. He places this request. So a devotee, he does not want anything for himself, but he wants everything for the benefit of others. Just as Srila Prabhupada, he did not want anything for himself, but he wanted everything for that. And that is why in the ripe old age of 69, he traveled by the ship Jalduta, suffering 2 heart attacks. What was the need for him? The only need was the benefit of others. In the same way, Arjuna, wanting benefit of centuries ahead to come for benefit of all of us, he requested this universal form. And then he saw the universal form. He got very nice darshan, but he got bewildered. And then he prayed. He saw the universal form, and he saw the Kala Rupa also, the form in time. And then he himself describes what he saw, and then he prays to Krishna. Krishna tells to him that he's he's time. And we also discussed how uh, time is the proxy representation of Krishna in this material world. And this material world, time only brings about destruction. But in the spiritual world, the same time, it takes us closer to Krishna. And finally, in the last 8, 9 verses, Krishna again shows back his two-handed form and thus pleases Arjuna, and then tells to Arjuna that bhakti is the only way by which I can be attained. So we'll pause here for the day today. It's 8, it's already 1 hour. We have passed 1 hour. We'll pause here. Any comments or questions or suggestions, clarifications, if you have now, you can ask. Yes, Rajmalini Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Dhanvat Pranav. I had actually a question about that play that you showed. It was actually a very well done play. I was wondering, is it on YouTube or something, or could we get a?
Yeah. It will be there. If it's not there, I can send even the Google Drive link of the same. I'll send after the class is done.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the name of it?
Name I don't know. I have downloaded it actually.
Okay.
So I'll just see and get back.
Thank you. It was very well done.
Yeah. It actually is from the beginning chapter only, and I just showed the middle part of it. I just showed the middle part of it, but we can say it is just a 15-minute clip, but very beautiful, very wonderful. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, Ramya.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. My question is, Krishna gives Arjuna the celestial eye so that he can see the universal form, right? So I have a question here. All this scene is being witnessed by Sanjaya as well.
Yes.
Was Sanjaya also granted the celestial eyes?
Yes. Sanjay
Apart from
also.
the Divya
Sanjay also
Gyan that
got.
he got.
Yes.
What
Sanjay
about
also.
others in the battlefield?
Others in the battlefield were not able to see it.
Okay.
Others in the battlefield. Only Sanjay and Arjuna.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I have a lot of questions,
Yes.
but I think I will um, rather take it offline.
Offline means after the session gets over?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, Atul Prabhu, you are having something.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Dr. Ram.
And
I have a question on the two hands form of Krishna. I
Mhm.
heard that we should never have Krishna's frame in the battlefield in the house, though he gave the two he showed the two hand form to Arjuna in the battlefield, but we always pray to Krishna's two hand form with the flute in his hand. So I just wanted to get some clarity on that.
So, according to me, and as far as what I have heard in, there is no problem if you have a battlefield picture where Krishna is giving directions to Arjuna. There is absolutely no problem in that. Uh, and yeah, Krishna's form with a flute also is okay. See, ultimately, currently what we are practicing is Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. As we will more and more advance in our devotional service, our bhava will get more and more refined. And that time we will want to serve Krishna in one of the five rasas. So that time we can understand it more deeply. But for now, we can worship Krishna in the way, like whatever festivals we have, like we have Ram Navami also, we worship Lord Ram. We have Narsimha Chaturdashi, we worship Lord Narsimha also. So there is absolutely no problem if you are having them. But if you want to have it in your altar, so in that altar we have Radha and Krishna. So there we don't keep a photo of Arjuna and Krishna. But at other place in your house, you can definitely have it. Does that answer?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, I think that's everything, Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhuji, if you can give me your email ID or whatever, I'll
Prabhuji,
Yes.
you can forward me your Prabhuji, you can forward me your question, and then I will send that to Prabhuji.
yeah, I mean it's not just one question. I have lots of questions, so that's the reason that I wanted to make it offline.
Okay, Prabhu. So you could just mail me at haribhaktidas.rns@gmail.com.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So thank you all very much for your attention and for your patient listening. I am again sorry to have disappointed you again
Yeah,
today.
no,
So we'll stop here.
Prabhuji, you never disappointed anybody.
Hare Krishna, that is your greatness. They'll pause here. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai. Samveta Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so much. Hare
Thank you so
Krishna.
much, Prabhuji. Danu Pranam. Hare Krishna.